Welcome to class, everyone. For those of you who are not here, hopefully this video will help navigate through our lesson and help you with your homework. The lesson is going to be divided into two sections, a learning log. Sorry, my dog is driving me crazy this morning. Welcome to our class today. I have my little puppy friend here who's driving me insane trying to record this video. He keeps jumping up on me, and so this is about the fourth time I've started it. So I'm holding him right now. Hopefully Bosco will behave and I can, halfway through the video, put him down and get him out of the picture. Anyway, our lesson is divided into two parts. There will be a learning log article relating to memoir writing, and then actually learning what characteristics are part of memoir writing. So this slide will take you to the Pressbook article entitled "You Will Never Believe What Happened." The professor on campus, his name is Ron Christiansen. He talks about the importance of storytelling. As you are writing or putting together your learning log response, you'll notice the first bullet ask you not to just copy anything from his article, but to copy two passages that he says that answer this question. Why is storytelling so vital to our lives? And then after you've done that, I'd like you to move on to the second bullet point and think about this quote and respond to it. If telling stories makes us human, reading stories seems to put us in touch with our humanity. What does that mean to you? So enjoy the article and complete that learning log prompt. Our lesson, by the time we're through with our lesson today, or by the time you are through, you should be able to answer these three essential questions. How is memory a kind of history? The second one is, what characteristics are contained in a memoir? And finally, how in the world can we take a memoir related to a social issue and make it interesting to read? So this slide, I'd like you to pause the video and actually look at it in more detail. I'm just going to point out to you that the phrases in red and blue are some of the key characteristics of memoir writing. One of America's greatest essayist writer and who writes a lot of memoirs, name is Anne Lamott. She once said, "Read like a writer, write like a reader." And a couple of years ago, she decided, as a 61-year-old author, decided to write a portion of a memoir entitled 12 Truths I've Learned from Life and Writing. And she's turned that into a TED Talk. I'd like you to just pause the video and watch it. As you're listening to her TED Talk, think about the universal truths that we learn through experience that she shares in these 12 truths that she has learned in life. And after you've done that, in class, I'm giving everyone a new packet today for all the resources for Unit 2. You don't have that packet since you're not in class, so I will try to remember to download a copy. Sorry, I'm putting the dog down. A copy of Downwinders, or The Clan of the One-Breasted Woman and Salvation. So these are the two articles written by extremely talented writers. Terry Tempest Williams is a Utah writer. She grew up in southern Utah. I think Miss Cyphus uses this in 1010. So for those of you who have come to our 2010 class from hers, gives you a chance to reread again a marvelous piece of writing. The story of Downwinders is not a well-known story in Utah, but it should be. PBS actually did a documentary that they produced and showed on their channel last month that deals with downwinders. The documentary is an hour long. I actually watched it all because I have my mother-in-law passed away from lung cancer, victim of downwinders. If you are not in class, we're not watching the entire documentary, but I'd like you to start at minute about 32 and go for about 10 minutes and learn this fascinating story that the government hid from the people of Utah and cost so many individuals their lives. Utah has an astronomically or unproportionate number of cancer cases sorry, my dog, I'm talking and he thinks someone's in the house. Has a high number of cancer cases as compared to the rest of the nation. And Terry Tempest Williams, sorry, my slide now is all off. Had many family members die of cancer. So she she writes this memoir entitled The Clan of the One-Breasted Woman about her life, but it's so much more than just story. So as you read it, it's quite long, but think of how memoir can be so much more than just story. The second story that I'd like you to read is a shorter one. Langston Hughes, you're probably familiar with him. He's an American poet from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. He also wrote several memoir selections that have been published. And in this one, he tells a story of when he was a 12-year-old having to go to a revival and feel the spirit. Anyway, fun story, but the end has a chilling effect on him as a human being. So with both of those stories, you are to read them, and then I'd like you to download the handout that I input in Canvas entitled Soapstone. You'll have to print that handout or copy and create it as a document for you to write on. You'll notice Soapstone, each of those letters stands for something. If you've been in AP, you know Soapstone is an acronym meaning a way to analyze nonfiction texts, and memoir really is nonfiction. So for each of those words in blue, I'd like you to answer 3 or 4 sentences, what you've learned about that aspect of the text for both the Clan of the One-Breasted Woman and finally salvation. That will be your homework assignment. One other thing, when we write our next paper, which we haven't even begun yet, but I want you to see this first one as a sample of a memoir. Notice it is going to be written or created like a newspaper magazine. This is another memoir by Sabrina from a couple years ago. And this is a profile from a couple years ago. So I will put some examples of the magazine looks to memoirs and profiles in your packet that you're going to get. But I just included those slides for those of you who were not here. So your handout or homework again will be to complete the Soapstone handouts for both articles and print them, bring them to class with you on Thursday. Have a good day.